Hey, how's it going, my awesome volunteers from Benton? Listen, I just want to thank you for pressing on that link. Communication is such an important part for us, and we want to, we want our communication to get better and better, and we're just going to be trying different things, and I want you guys to tell me, what you think. If videos work, then we'll do videos. If just straight up emails work, then we'll do that. I want to make sure that I'm able to communicate with all of you. That's our main goal, because our communication is a way of telling us that we care about you guys, that we care about what goes on in your lives, and I want to be able to have a great communication with my room coordinators, and I want my room coordinators and I to have a great communication with you. Um, and that's really important to us. So first of all, thank you so much for what you do week in and week out. It's very important, and you know as well as I know that you guys, without you, there'd be no kids ministry. I've been dealing, I've been in kids ministry for a long time, and I've met a lot of great people, great leaders, great servants, and I'll tell you, nowhere else in the whole world are there a group of people that are fun to be around and interesting the way kids ministry volunteers are. So that's you, and I appreciate it. I love Saturday and Sundays that I get to walk around and meet all of you and talk to you, and I sure do wish that I had a chance to spend 30 minutes with each volunteer. I would love that. Sometimes I talk too much to you guys, but I want you to know that I care for you, and you already know how much Becky and Julie care for you, and it's great that we have Molly Wilton coming on board, and we have Aaron Stone coming on board, and we're just going to be able to even do more things. Okay, we're always here for you. So last week, Becky talked about the kid that affected her the most in kids ministry. So it was supposed to be Julie, but Julie's doing some amazing things with the stage, and I don't want to ruin her momentum. So I'm gonna step in. The kid who meant the most to me in kids ministry, and that's not to say that somebody's not going to come around a year from now and they'll be that. But the person that I'm always thinking about is a young girl named Dinah. Dinah was this bright, shining sun of a kid, and she came from an amazing family. She had 8 siblings, and she was second to the youngest. She When she walked through the room, like they always say, you could always tell that Dinah was there because she had the biggest smile and she had the best stories. I mean, this little girl loved reading the Bible, loved studying. And on Wednesdays and Sundays, she would show up and she'd say, Pastor Thomas, I got this great story that I just read. And she would just sit there and tell you all about it. And she just would memorize verses. And I mean, she was a deep thinker. And, many times I would have to tell her, Dinah, let me go get my Bible. Let me read up on it. And then let's talk about it, because you're way up here and I need to get up there too. Right before we left for summer camp in 2002, Dinah was diagnosed with leukemia. And I didn't know a lot about leukemia. And her parents came in the office and said, Pastor Thomas, Dinah's not going to be able to go. And she had 4 siblings that were going. And they wanted to give her spot to somebody that couldn't afford to go. I didn't really know a lot about it. I thought, man, she just has the cold or something, and they're going to give her some medicine, and she'll be fine. She'll go next year, But Dinah got sick really fast, and it just seemed like it was almost overnight that she turned from being this wonderful, shining, bright star to this little girl who was so sick that she couldn't even walk, This is a picture of her with her Texas A&M shirt. She was a big Aggie fan, And one day she was really, really, really sick. And her mom said, Dinah, if you're holding on because of us, because of me, I don't want you to. If you need to go, then you need to go. And she died later on that night. And it was one of those things, cell phones weren't big back then, I went home from work, and I was going to go home for a little bit and then go up to Texas Children's and to go see her. And I got there, and there was a message waiting for me, and it said Dinah had died. And I was in shock. She was the first kid that I'd ever lost in ministry. And the first one is always the hardest. I mean, they're all hard, but the first one affects you, I think, a little bit different. And during her funeral, I remember her mom saying, "Don't ever give up." I've never felt like giving up in ministry. I've never felt like this wasn't what I was going to do until I died. But what it did do for me was it taught me how important I was and how important you are to every kid that walks through the door. No matter how difficult it may seem, no matter how tough your day was, even if you spent the entire time telling the kids to sit down and to, write this down or open up this book and whatever it is, if you feel frustrated, I want you to realize that you are very important to these kids. And your job is very important to what we do. And your job and your service is honoring to God. God chose you, and you're there, and you're doing it, and don't ever think that you're not making a difference. Every time you step through those doors, every time you're in team time, you're moving a mountain. And that mountain, once it gets out of a kid's way, who knows what's going to become of them? How high are they going to get? We don't know that, but I want you never to give up. And I want to tell you personally, never give up. Never give up doing good. Never give up doing what God wants you to do. We're going to have big days. We're going to have big days where we have big things that happen. Sunday, I was fortunate enough to lead a little kid to Christ who came up to me and he said, "Hey, I want to follow Jesus." And I was able to do that. That's a huge thing. But guess what? I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for you guys. If it wasn't for the time and the energy that you put in, that wouldn't have occurred. We've already had about 6 kids sign up for baptism. That's huge. That's big. And you know what? Kids are doing some great things, and kids are learning some great things, and it's all because of you. And I appreciate that. Don't give up. We've got big things coming. You guys have already done big things. So I just look forward to it. And I feel honored to be able to be your pastor. And I feel honored that I was chosen, from a stack of many. Who knows why? But I'm honored to be here, and I want to tell you that I don't take this job for granted. And I don't think that I don't wake up every day and think, I'm the kids pastor at Fenton. That means something. So God bless you guys. Love y'all, and I will see you this weekend. Thank you.